I first started contemporary dancing, I was no equipped, and now I'm much more equipped. When I sleep, I memorize the routine in my mind. I'm doing things that I'd never thought I'd be able to do in 100 years.
They've grown into artists which are taken into an experience where they could see young dancers who were highly trained. They were working with people who knew what they were doing in the theatre. It just became another experience altogether on another dimension. They have to step outside of their comfort zone. We had times when people sat down and cried. They didn't cope. We had people who just didn't understand what was going on, and it just took a process of time for them to accept what was going on. Do you want to have a go with Alex? Come on.
Come on, have a go.
Yeah. Rachel.
All right, we'll keep working at that.
It was absolutely that this is what we're doing and this is the mark that you have to meet. And I think it was pushing everyone, disabled or not, to that line, which really made the project succeed. I think it is difficult to step away from ability projects, whether it's dance ability or music ability, and try and really give people with a disability the opportunity to be artists and to be recognised as artists. And I think that would go right across the board for anyone that's trying to shake that concept.
I think it's very hard for a disability organisation to be an arts organisation. It can't. It's trying to provide educational programs, it's trying to provide care and home care and all these things, so it can't wear an artistic hat as such. You need experienced artists to make that vision occur. You need professionals.
Can you walk her around?
I was very clear from the outset that I wasn't prepared to do it in terms of movement therapy, and that I wanted it to be a project that had high artistic quality. A big misconception, I think, is very much that it's not possible to create a work that has a serious creative agenda, and that it will be so simplistic that you can only appreciate it because you're seeing people with disability. Yet, because they're so sincere and so honest, people with disability, for me, create an artistic level which is even beyond what you'd expect of a highly trained artist, because the emotion that they convey is honest, it's very truthful. It's like getting an actor to act, you know, you don't want them to act, you want it just to be very sincere.
When you would talk to people about it, I think they had a certain perception of what we were trying to do. So there was that sort of communication to funding bodies and to the wider public about what we were trying to do. But then organisationally, I think it was also really difficult to communicate about those artistic outcomes. It is about, I guess, maybe opening their minds up to the possibilities of artists within their client base. And really fostering and supporting that.
So, Matt, did you want to...
Yeah, Michael did.
Which one is the next one?
See, there was me first, and then again.
I think for me, the struggle working with disability organisations is for them to see the true value in what we're trying to do, and that it's not a workshop, it's not the same as when they go 10-pin bowling and things like that. We're really trying to create something that has never been done before.
It's about wanting to lift yourself out of a weekly program and striving for artistic integrity. The disability organisation was quite blown away when they saw the performance on stage, and particularly when they saw in year 2 the growth of the clients in like performance standard from year 1 to year 2. But then organisationally, I think it was really difficult to communicate about those artistic outcomes. Some of those challenges were around the regular turnover of staff, while we had a constant support worker, carer with us throughout the 2 years of the project. At an organisational level, the staff turned over really quickly. So we found that you weren't always talking to the same people, so it was very difficult to sort of try and communicate the other outcomes. I mean, you know, certainly I think that the health and wellbeing outcomes were quite well documented within the disability organisation, but it was always about, for us, about artistic outcomes and making sure that those were met.
It is an honest attempt by all of us to create a product that we sincerely see high value in within the professional sector.
For people considering a partnership, an arts disability organisational partnership, I think it's really important that the outcomes and what you're trying to achieve are communicated at the very highest level. The partnership needs to be two ways as well. I mean, we only ever applied for and only ever got arts funding for Disassemble, and I think that there was a whole another pot of money out there that we could have accessed, but we didn't know what it was because, you know, we're an arts organisation. If we had some directions in perhaps where that money was, then we could have applied for that as well.
It just makes you wonder how many people are there out there that just can't access it because people don't understand how it can be developed.